Gas detector arrays, that is, measuring devices to analyze and define chemical substances, have already been used in disaster management for several years by the police and the fire services. The detectors comprise a combination of different measuring systems that can analyze the category, composition and hazardness of a gas within seconds. Lufthansa Technik uses such devices in case of a report of oil smell, to search for leakages in the cabin and to detect the source of the smell. The functionality of a gas detector is simple. In front of the device, air is sucked in and channeled through different sensors, which react to different chemical substances. The measuring results are compared with a database and shown on the display. AIRSENSE Analytics, a company from Schwerin, has modified the database according to Lufthansa Technik requirements, so that all common substances specific to aviation can be detected. The device can register and process 8 different substance groups, including alcohols, esters and ketones. In aviation, the use of such devices is still relatively new. With the Aerotracer, Lufthansa Technik has developed its own appliance for efficient error diagnostics. Gunther Dragon has helped getting the Aerotracer off the ground. Ever since a cable fire caused an MD-11 to crash into the sea a couple of years ago, smoke smell has become highly significant in aviation because it constitutes a high safety risk. Smoke or oil smell results in emergency landings, cancellations of flights and delays, and to minimize the safety hazard, we had the idea of looking at the market for what was available there. Leaked out liquids that are found underneath the aircraft or in the plane itself create a safety risk, and we wanted to see if there was something on the market that could help us in the analysis. Until recently, when there was oil smell, the engines had to be examined laboriously, since the human nose is sated right after the first contact with the smell. Often, it was impossible to detect exactly where the suspicious smell came from. In such cases, at worst, all engines of the aircraft had to be replaced one after the other. Today, it's sufficient to analyze the air at the outlet in the cockpit during run-up to determine, for instance, whether there is a leaky bearing in the engine or not. In this case, colleagues from Condor Cargo Technik requested a measuring with the Aerotracer because the cabin crew had reported oil smell. During run-up, the engines and packs are operated in sequence together in different combinations. And for each test operation, measuring data are collected. The results of this source switching are recorded and analyzed at the laptop. Several statistical and graphical illustrations of the results show smell and error sources within 100% dependability so far. The perceived smells are categorized with the scale used by Rolls-Royce for years, ranging from 0, not obvious, to 7, extremely strong.
Okay, ich habe alle Messungen durchgeführt, sind wir fertig.
Vielen Dank. Und siehst du, hier ist jetzt der dritte da. Diese 3 identifizieren das einwandfrei als Öl.
In the case of the Condor 757, the Aerotracer could definitely determine that engine number 1 was responsible for an oil smell of intensity 2 in the cabin.
Ja. Und du siehst, die Zeitspanne ist unheimlich kurz. Aber wir können unserem Kunden sagen, einwandfrei Engine 1.
Das Gerät ist sehr flexibel einsetzbar. Es ist sehr leicht.
The device is usable flexibly and easy to handle. Basically, each employee who's been trained for it can operate the device. A word on the advantages. Last year we had 12 struts removals, 10 of which could have been avoided if we'd already been using the device. Moreover, we're using the device to detect oil smell during engine run-ups, with a reliability of 100% at the moment. Apart from the analysis of oil smells, the Aerotracer serves another valuable purpose. With its help, 15 aviation-specific substances can be definitely identified, whether they are gases, greases or liquids. Aerofluid 4 is recognized as well, which enables a definite diagnosis of struts leakages. Consequently, unnecessary removals and replacements of struts are avoided. Mario Schmidt from AirSense Analytics supervised the developing process of the Aerotracer. Our measuring device GDA2 was originally developed for first responder use, to approach accidents with hazardous material on the road and the railroad. We built on this knowledge and adapted the GDA2 to meet Lufthansa Technik requirements with the goal to detect oil smells in the cabin, identify the corresponding source engines, and to detect and identify leaked out liquids within the maintenance process. We've managed, in spite of export control, that technicians of the Lufthansa Technik Corporation can make use of the measuring device at ad hoc operations worldwide. The programmers in Schwerin spent 1.5 years developing the database to contain all helping and operating substances together with their smells. To get a general approval from the Federal Office of Economics and Export Control, the shelling had to be altered. The electronic sniffing nose is now approved to be used flexibly and spontaneously all over the world without having to undergo complicated procedures to get clearance at customs.